Hey, what's up guys? Wanted to make this video today. This is going to be the first day, part one, going through some of the overview tips of each section that's going to be in the SEO sales course, which I just announced in the last video. Guys, it's really starting to move. As soon as I made the decision to go for it, things are really aligning to make this possible. You can see in my Aura ring, for the last 2 nights, I don't know if it's focusing, it's been showing that I've been waking up at like 4 a.m. And this is from pure excitement, right? I've been trying to get myself, my schedule right now is not to wake up early anymore like I was like last year or like 6 months ago when I was doing a lot of sales. I just try to sleep in. It's part of my health thing. But the last 2 nights, especially last night, literally like 3:30, 3:45 a.m., I was wide awake, full of energy. And it's been a while since I've felt this feeling again of that raw excitement when you're starting a new journey. So I'm really grateful for that, even though I need to get some extra sleep tonight. And really, you know, things are coming together. Not only did I do like a little launch as I showed in the last video, but I actually convinced one of my friends who's going to be coming down and living with me and helping out with all my health stuff. As you guys remember, that one of my biggest fears getting on this whole journey was that I'm not going to be able to really give it my all because my health conditions. But with my friend actually coming in here and helping me with everything, whether it be, you know, cooking, cleaning, and just being there with me for the whole journey is going to make a huge difference. So really grateful for that. All right, so let's get into it. Today's video, we're going to be going through prospecting. So I'm going to give you guys just some straight off awesome tips on exactly overview ways to think about who you're going to be talking to that is going to move the needle, right? I've said this before, that the difference between the time when I was selling for $750, $1,000 packages to the point where I clicked and I was able to sell $2,000, $3,000 packages, a big part of that was just who I speak to and being laser focused on that, right? Not just, you know, do like 20% of your list building that you call from there and then like, you know, rest of it just move on. It's really rinsing the top places around us, which indicate that, you know, in your industry, who are indicating the people who are most likely to not just buy and turn into a big sale, but also most likely to become a better experience and a long-term client and easy to deal with and all that kind of stuff, right? Prospecting, it starts at the very beginning, right? Ever before you even get on a sales call or a presentation, it comes with the list building. So if you take a moment and look at it from my side, like what it means for my responsibility, right? Putting this together for you guys in a way where you can consume it and come out the other side knowing exactly the 80-20 of the market who's ready to make a decision right now. What I have to do is go beyond contractors, right? If it was just, if I just made this about just contractors, it's not going to be like, you know, it's not going to be for all of you. I'm going to have a portion of it that's for contractors because that's what I have a lot of experience with, but I'm going to break down exactly the overview so you know how I think about it and how I go about it, and it'll make a lot more sense once in the end when you actually build a list. It'll make full sense that why we do what we do, so to speak. All right. Okay, so let's get into it. I took some notes. There's really like 7 things. I'm gonna share like 3 of them, right? Maybe 4. Let's see how long this video goes, right? All right, guys. Number 1, right? Prospecting. Who is it that you're gonna be reaching out to when you wanna get sales for your SEO agency? All right. The first thing you have to think about is who is already paying for leads online, right? Who's already paying for advertising, whether it be lead by lead or advertising that's more, you know, like brand awareness, whatever it may be. Who is already paying for that, right? For a lot of you, the first thing that might come into mind is Adwords. And that is the number 1, right? In my experience, overall, there's some things to look for, be careful of, and such as people who are in AdWords. A lot of times, a little bit harder to get past, right? Generally speaking, if they're spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in AdWords, they're gonna have a receptionist, so you're gonna have to get past gatekeepers. So there's a little bit negative and positive with everything, but generally speaking, across the board, if a company is spending money in AdWords, they are a good target, right? So that's right off the bat. They're very close. If you look at it from like a pillar, you want to sell them SEO, like a digital marketing placement at the top places of Google. AdWords is very close to that, right? They're paying for another placement in the same search page, right? So it's very, very, very dual. Number 2, my top favorite places to reach out to when I'm looking for who I'm going to be prospecting and who I'm going to be reaching out to get put it on my list to call, etc. is lead directories, right? I should just put just directories. Now, I personally have a lot of experience with HomeAdvisor, right? Because I work with roofers and generally have done most of my calls in the contractor industry. But this can go with anything. Every industry has a directory, right? It looks like some of the other, like niches, they don't call it like in the same way directories. They almost look like, little communities. Whatever it is, it's a place where they're going to list out the business's information, and the business is paying that platform a fee, whether it be per lead or a monthly fee to be on there. So going to the contractor industry, like HomeAdvisor, is an amazing place to start. I know a lot of times people get confused with this or like look down at HomeAdvisor because, oh, these are small contractors. But the HomeAdvisor is a place where the number of people who pick up their phone is very high. A lot of times the business owner is the main sales guy. And let's say, generally it might be a little bit of a smaller company compared to like AdWords. But if you're starting out, it's an amazing place to start calling because you get a lot of repetition and practice with a lower amount of call volume. You see, these are things that people don't think about, right? They're just going for quality, and then they start making calls. After a week, they talk to like 4 people in AdWords and then they give up. But if you know your dynamics, and if you know how to call properly, you can call AdWords. But if you don't know and you're just a beginner first time, I would much rather recommend starting with something like this where you'd be talking to a real business owner like every 10th dial you make, right? Within an hour, you talk to 6 to 10 potential people who will be willing to hear you out. So that's why I put lead directories as a second here. And if you look again, going back to the dynamics, buying leads online, it's not as close as AdWords because AdWords is literally on Google first page, but it's still on Google, right? Like a lot of valuation or how let's say HomeAdvisor got their to the level they are is because they rank so well across all states, right? They're in the first page organically under the maps, and essentially, it's still a very big deal when it comes down to that part of the, like that angle. You can say that, would you rather be a homeowner, go down, click on this, and then see all the roofers and then potentially find you? Or you rather just be the one who's in the top 3 outside of that platform, right? In Google directly, right? So that's something you can always use. So again, I'm just trying to get you guys to think about how I'm bringing it back to dynamics so you can see in the end, what's number 1, what's number 2, what's number 3 in priority, and how it relates to the bigger market. All right, number 3. Now we're getting into somewhat ninja stuff, somewhat things that people generally don't talk about, and I haven't seen it myself. These are stuff that I have been using behind the scenes for quite some time. Growing companies. You have to understand, guys. When people are in HomeAdvisor, when people are in AdWords, that's one thing. Yes, they're really good people to call. But there's something about a company that is aggressively growing who always wants more advertising, always wants to be in another spot in their market that they're currently not visible in. right? These are especially companies that are growing fast, right? Aggressive companies. A lot of times companies who don't care about profit, high profit margins too much, or just getting by, they want to hit big revenue goals, right? And you know, I work with a lot of roofers, and I can see some of them where they are like that. Like you can tell right from the way their mindset is. It's completely different. They're not scared to spend money. They're not afraid to, you know, advertise. Even if they lose money a little bit, they're not like really like boggled down by it. Obviously they care about their business, you know, like make sure it's growing and stuff, but growing companies is a whole category in of its own. So think about it. Where would be a place that clearly signals that a company is growing? Number one, Indeed. Go do a search right now. If you're doing an HVAC, do HVAC jobs, contractor jobs, do city roofing job, roofing sales job, really good one, sales job. They're hiring a salesman. That means, you know, they have the infrastructure to feed that guy. Maybe they're hiring more. If they want one salesman, they'll eventually want more, right? Like that's roofing evolves fast. Many other construction business evolves fast as well. And yeah, Indeed is a really good place, right? Companies that are growing, and if you just make a list, and there's usually not that many in a city that's like advertising on Indeed over and over again, just make that list and you can try to reach out to them. And the thing about these companies is that even if they're a little bit harder to reach out, you easily convince yourself, or you feel a lot better putting more effort, right? Because you know that they are aggressively growing. They have much better chance of turning into a better client, becoming a sale, etc. So who do you rather call? A random person, page 3 of Google? Like, you know, a lot of people say like page 3 of Google, or page 4 of Google, or page 2 of Google. Oh, they're not ranking it, so I'm gonna rank them. In my experience, those leads didn't turn out that well. But companies that are growing, companies that are in AdWords, companies that are paying for leads right now, do. So that's one a sign for growing companies. The other one I'll give, I'll give one more. And this is like completely ninja. I actually found out by just talking to clients over time. And like, you know, I stumbled upon it on a client's conversation one time. And he basically said it to me. I think he was actually complaining a bit. He was saying something like, you know, things are slow. I see my competitors. I went in the, you know, shop the other day, and you know, the guy told me that competitors have been you know, coming by a lot to buy a lot of materials. So I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, you know, there's the warehouse where we buy our materials. The roofers, right? They buy materials to do the jobs. And he was saying that his competitors have been going to the shop a lot to buy a lot of materials, and he hasn't been making a lot of trips. So essentially he was implying that, oh, things are slow, so they're getting jobs, but I'm not. Things are going up there, and I'm not the one who's putting them up. And these guys are being frequent buyers. And it clicked on me. And I was like, are you telling me that if I was to talk to these warehouse companies and you know, get some kind of you know, deal with them, I would be able to get an information on who are the most frequent buyers? Remember guys, a lot of times the best clients are people who are actually not in digital marketing, right? It's not all the time, but it has happened to me. Like literally, I would say, yeah, like top 2 clients that I have right now out of like, let's say 5, is people that I got, and they were not in AdWords, they're not in Home Advisor. They're just people I came across because they're marketing heavily offline, other stuff that they're doing. And when I showed them this program, they're like, okay, yeah, we've been waiting for so long. We've been around for 20 years. We have like a bullshit website, but you know, it has a lot of age. Those are the clients that has, you know, already a lot of traction, a lot of reputation, and a lot easier to rank, and everything is a lot easier with these kind of clients, right? So that's another really ninja tip I wanted to get you guys out there. Now, like I said, guys, I'm gonna do my best to not keep it just for construction, but that's where, you know, my mind goes to. But what you'd like to think is, if a company, let's see if you're working with doctors, if a doctor starts to scale, what is it that would happen, right? What goes on? And if you don't know this at all, best way to just talk to them. Dedicate half a day to not sell, just talk. Hey, just want to know your goals, what will happen? And by the way, when that happens, you have to hire more. And if you do, where would you go? okay, wait, do you post up something like this? Like, and if you just keep talking, they will keep on just telling you, and you'd be surprised. Most people never get a call just to get some information, right? So when you do, you'd be surprised that a lot of people are pretty open to have a chat with you. And you'd find out these kind of information. The path that your industry goes through, the stages that they go through, that signal that they're growing, that signal that they're willing to spend money. And if you target those people right there, you're basically in a pond where there's nobody else. All right, guys, I'll leave it at that. It's 15 minutes video. I don't want to make it too long. I've been kind of looking at some YouTube algorithm stuff. You know, I want to start taking this stuff a bit more seriously and actually make some videos with proper descriptions and stuff, because if you guys have been watching my videos, they lack a lot of stuff. You know, most of them don't even have thumbnails. But anyways, hope that helped. Hope you guys got something out of it. These are stuff I've used myself personally, and there's a few more that I'm going to be sharing, but those are actually kept in, you know what, the course. Come on, guys, you know how this goes. So go down below in the description, guys. If you are, if you're on the fence to get on this, like I said, this is pretty much the cheapest thing I can ever think of in our industry right now, let alone like, the type of knowledge I'm going to be putting together. Eventually, I'm going to be selling this course at $3,000. I'm just looking for around, I would say, like we got like a couple of people right now. I would like it to be around 10, 15 people in there, so I have a good base. And from there, I can be like, okay, all right, we have a good shot to bring out of that, 10, 15 people, and take a few of them at least to 6 figures, right? So that's how I'm looking at it. So, go down below. It'll take you to a page, put in your email, and it'll forward you to a thank you page where there's a video that will be outlining exactly what the course is about. If everything makes sense to you, only if it makes 100% sense, then book a call with me in that page and we'll get on a 50-minute call. It's really for me to get to know you, exactly what you've done in the past, what kind of action taker you are, and if it's a good fit, then I would invite you to join after that, and we would see you on the other side. All right? So thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, comment below. Peace.